What is up, everybody? This is Chris with Hobby Legends, and we're just getting the Delight case ripped open, and then we're going to get started. Thanks, everyone, for joining us today. And welcome in, Squeeble. Yeah, let's see if we can find some Bo Nix action for you. All right, Delight has been freed. So we're going to start off with doing one of the Hobby and the Delight at the same time, and then we will do our final Hobby after we are done with these two. Yeah, let's start off with some Hobby. Oh, and thanks for joining us, Squeeble. We always appreciate it. And hopefully our boxes can reward you with some big Bo Nix action. All right, everybody. Good luck in the break. We're going to lead off today with Edgerrin Cooper. And our first bit of numbered action is going to Lance Briggs on the blue rare. And for Lance, he is 51 of 99. Ooh, and we're going to get a mystery right off the bat. And what we like to do is just peel it off and see who it's going to, and then we will put the black right back on it. So our mystery has been solved. It is going to Jim Kelly. Could you write down Jim Kelly on a Post-it? Thank you, Joe. So our first of the mystery cards is going to Mr. Jim Kelly. And then finest debuts for Jonathan Brooks. And then there's Drake May on the refractor. Followed by Tavondre Sweat on the checkerboard. Welcome on in, Jeremy, and thanks for joining us. Let's see if we can find some Marv and Brady action for you. Pack number 2 is going to lead off with Chuck Foreman. And our numbered action is going to Bucky Irving on the purple. And for Bucky, he is 17 of 250. And there's the GOAT himself, Mr. Tom Brady, on the team finest. Marshawn Lloyd and Kalen Bullock on the checkerboards. What's up, Jason? Thanks for joining us. And yeah, hopefully we can find something big for each one of your spots, and then let us know after we hit it. There's Devontae Walker on the rare. And then numbered action behind him is going to Lot 2 on the sky blue. And for Lot 2, he is 279 of 325. Frank Gore Jr. on the Dynamos. And then nice, we got doubled numbered action in this pack. We have Field Generals blue to 150 for Joe Montana. And for Montana, he is 54 of 150 on the blue Field Generals. Kurt Warner on the checkerboard, and then Earl Campbell to finish off our pack. And we're going to lead off with Bob Greasy this round. Ooh, very cool. We have found some ink. It is going to Bryce Young on the autograph. So very cool. Bryce Young is our first spot to see some ink. And behind him is going to be Frank Gore Jr. on the sky blue. And for Frank, he is 68 of 250. Xavier Worthy on the refractor. And then Adrian Peterson on the checkerboard. All right, Edward, let's see if we can find some Tim Tebow action and Terrell Davis for you. And there's our second autograph. It is going to Malachi Corley on the base ink. And behind him, we're going to have Danny White on the blue checkerboard rare. And for Danny, he is 34 of 49. Followed by Roman Wilson on the finest debuts. Drew Brees and Walter Payton on the checkerboard. And final pack here of Hobby Box number 1. Jatavian Sanders on the rare. Followed by Ray Lewis on the purple. Nice color match there for Lewis. And he is 135 of 200 on the purple. Will Shipley on the Dynamos. And then Will Shipley again, this time on the Dynamos refractor. Billy Sims on the checkerboard, and then Donovan McNabb to finish off our box. And yeah, Edward, I hope we do have some ink for you. You've received plenty of penny sleeves. And we're going to lead off with Marshall Faulk on the refractor. And then Jer'Zhan Newton on the sky blue. And for Newton, he is 155 of 250. Ooh, followed by our first bit of Jaden Daniels action on the blue to 150. So putting Daniels on the board. And he is 128 of 150. And then nice, putting Malik Neighbors on the board as well with some ink. Base auto here for Malik. And then up next, we're going to have Roger Craig on the geometric blue autograph. And for Roger, he is 11 of 99. And another blue geometric. This one is going to Lenny Moore. And for Lenny, he is 42 of 99. And very nice. Brock Bowers on the blue finest debuts. And for Brock, he is 82 of 99. Up next, we're going to have Adonai Mitchell on the purple to 125. And for Mitchell, he is 2 of 125. Followed by Edgerrin Cooper on the gold. And for Cooper, he is 47 of 50. And our final card in the pack is going to Mason Smith. And for Mason, he is 7 of 99. And that'll take us back to hobby. And we're going to lead off with Sweetness, Walter Payton. And our numbered action is going to Michael Hall Jr. And for Hall Jr., he is 169 of 200. Followed by Bo Nix on the finest debuts. We'd love to see a big card for you, Mr. Nix. Xavier Worthy on the finest debuts checkerboard. And then Jacob Cowing on our next checkerboard. Steve Grogan on the rare. Followed by Jaden Daniels on the team finest. And then numbered action is going to Boomer Esiason on the blue field generals. And for Boomer, he is 35 of 99. Johnny Wilson on the checkerboard. Ooh, very cool. That is Donovan McNabb on the red autograph to 5. Very, very cool. Putting the McNabb spot on the board in a big way. And for Donovan, he is 2 of 5 on the red autograph. Very nice. There you go, McNabb spot. And up next, we're going to have purple checkerboard for Ray Lewis. And for Ray, he is 72 of 99. Xavier Worthy on the Dynamos. Archie Manning on the refractor, and then Cade Stover on the checkerboard. But what a nice hit there for Donovan McNabb. And we got some ink. It is going to Jalen McMillan on the base autograph. Followed by Sam Hartman on the blue rare. And for Sam, he is 105 of 150. Brendan Rice on the Dynamo's checkerboard. And then Roman Wilson on our next checkerboard. What is up, Gabriel? Nothing major for the Cowboys as of yet. But we are still very early on in this one. There's Brad Johnson on the rare. Followed by Jalen Polk on the finest debuts. And then finest debuts refractor for Jatavian Sanders. Kenyon Mitchell on the checkerboard. And then there's Brett Favre on the blue checkerboard rare. And for Brett, he is 48 of 49. Followed by Terrell Owens on the Dynamos. Tavontre Sweat on the refractor. And then Terry Bradshaw on the checkerboard rare. And that brings us to another box of delight. we're going to lead off with Marshawn Lloyd on the refractor, followed by Lynn Dickey on the blue. And for blue, Dickey, he is 116 of 150. Up next, we're going to have Emmitt Smith on the purple checkerboard. And for Smith, he is 61 of 99. And our first auto in this pack is going to Xavier Worthy on the base ink. And auto behind him is going to Jim Everett on the blue geometric auto to 99. And for Everett, he is 27 of 99. And our next auto is going to be gold, and that is going to Rod Smith. And for Rod, he is 26 of 50 on the gold geometric autograph. Followed by Xavier Worthy on the finest debuts purple. And for Xavier, he is 47 of 125. And then finest debuts blue going to Trey Benson. And for Trey, he is 47 of 150. There's Anaya Smith on the blue. And for Smith, he is 22 of 99. And then Nice going to end our pack with some low numbered action. It is Chris Jenkins on the red to 10. So, and for Jenkins, he is booking as well. 10 of 10 on the red geometric. Oh, is that who you're rooting for, Gabriel? Yeah, hopefully the Cowboys can have a good season next year. And we're going to lead off with John Elway out of box number 3. And ooh. There you go, Squeeble. That is Bo Nix on the finest Prodigies autograph. So very cool on the board with some ink. On the finest Prodigies autos for Bo Nix. And up next, we're going to have Ladd McConkey on the blue checkerboard rare. And for McConkey, he is 7 of 49. Followed by Chad Johnson on the Dynamos. Audric Estime on the checkerboard, as well as Jalen Wright. And our ink is going to Jermaine Burton on the base autograph. So putting the Burton spot on the board. Behind him, we're going to have Andre Reed on the sky blue. And for Andre, he is 27 of 250. Followed by Marvin Harrison Jr. on the team finest. Mason Smith on the refractor. Followed by Dan the Man Marino on the checkerboard. And numbered action coming up. This one is going to Adonai Mitchell on the blue rare. And for Mitchell, he is 125 of 150. Ladd McConkey on the finest debuts. Followed by Tavondre Sweat on the refractor. And Chris Braswell on the checkerboard. There's Troy Aikman on the rare. So a little Cowboys love there. Michael Pratt on the Field Generals. And then Peyton Manning on the team finest refractor. Tyrion Arnold on the checkerboard. And there's Jim Everett on the purple to 250. And for Everett, he is 121 of 250. And Randy Moss on the Dynamos. Followed by Caleb Williams on the Field Generals checkerboard. And Jermaine Burton on our next checkerboard. Lynn Dickey on the rare. And numbered action behind him. There's another one for Troy Aikman. This time on the blue checkerboard. And for Troy, he is 26 of 75. McNabb on the Field Generals. And then a little sweetness. It is Walter Payton on the blue Dynamos to 150. And for Payton, he is 95 of 150. Marvin Harrison Jr. on the checkerboard. let's see if we can find some low-numbered ink this round of delight. We're going to lead off with Arian Foster on the refractor, followed by Bob Greasy on the purple checkerboard. And for Greasy, he is 84 of 150. Audric Estime on the sky blue, 319 of 325. And our first auto is going to Trey Benson on the base ink. And behind him, looks like we're going to have a blue geometric. And that is going to Braylon Trice. And for Braylon, he is 5 of 99 on the blue geometric ink. And up next, we're going to have Dave Robinson on the gold geometric auto. And for Mr. Robinson, he is 13 of 50. Followed by Marshall Falk on the blue dynamos. And for Marshall, he is 77 of 150. And then Jim Kelly on the blue field generals. And for Kelly, 6 of 99. And our final card, that looks like another, a red to 5 this time. Very nice. It is Gronk. Rob Gronkowski on the red geometric to 5. So there you go, Gronk spot on the board in a big way. And for Gronk, he is 3 of 5 on the red geometric. And then Donovan McNabb adding to his bounty with a gold to 25. And for Donovan, he is 12 of 25 to go with that autograph to 5 earlier. So I say McNabb has an early lead on spot of the break. And that'll bring us to our 4th hobby box. And we're going to lead off with Xavier Worthy. And our autograph is going to Dallas Turner on the base ink. So putting the Turner spot on the board. And behind him is going to be Randy Moss on the blue to 250. And for Randy, he is 17 of 250. And there's Jerry Rice on the checkerboard dynamos. Followed by Earl Campbell on the next checkerboard. Okay, I just brought up eBay live chat. Yeah, let me bring up that video so I can see it. And I'll make sure to keep it in frame on eBay as well. Thanks for letting me know, because we usually don't see much from the eBay chat. So let me adjust the screen just a little bit so I can see it. And thank you, Coach. Yeah, because we don't always see all of eBay live chat. So let me just adjust it so I can see the video. Make sure it is in frame. Okay, there we go. And there's Tim Tebow for you on the rare. So you're going to get more than penny sleeves this round with Tim Tebow on the rare. And behind him is Jonathan Brooks on the finest debuts. Followed by Randy Moss on the Dynamos refractor. And then Barry Sanders on the checkerboard. And going to end with John Elway. And our numbered action is going to Brendan Rice on the purple. And for Rice, he is 23 of 200. Followed by Tom Brady on the team finest. Malachi Corley on the refractor. And then Chad Johnson on the checkerboard. And there's more Bob Greasy numbered action. This time on the blue to 200. And for Bob, he is 130 of 200. Followed by Frank Gore Jr. on the Dynamos. Spencer Radler and Blake Corum on the checkerboard. And then Bo Jackson to finish off our pack. There's Boomer Esiason on the rare. And behind Boomer, another great quarterback. It is Joe Montana on the green rare. So a very nice hit here for the Montana spot. And for Joe Montana, he is 6 of 25. Roman Wilson on the finest debuts. And then Andre Reed on the checkerboard. Ooh, we got some ink coming up. And that is going to Don Beebe on the autograph. So putting the Don Beebe spot on the board with some ink. And behind him is going to be Lynn Dickey on the blue. And for Lynn, he is 142 of 150. Johnny Wilson on the refractor. And then Dat Wynn on the checkerboard. And we're going to lead off with Peyton Manning on the rare refractor. And behind Peyton is going to be Drew Bledsoe on the blue rare. And for Drew, he is 85 of 99. Ooh, and then a nice hit for the Lad McConkey spot on the gold rare. And for McConkey, he is 13 of 20. And our first autograph is going to Nate Wiggins on the base ink. And then Nate Wiggins strikes again. This time on the blue geometric auto to 99. And for Wiggins, he is 87 of 99. And our next autograph is a low-numbered auto for Jason Taylor. That one looks sweet. And for Jason Taylor, he is 10 of 10 on the black autograph. There you go, Taylor spot. Up next, we're going to have Marvin Harrison Jr. on the gold team finest. And for Harrison Jr., he is 24 of 50. And then some more low-numbered action. It is Xavier Worthy to 5. Oh, boy. And I'm hoping, Jason, you got Worthy this round. And for Xavier, he is 1 of 5 on the red Dynamos. Nice hit for the Worthy spot. Up next, we're going to have Billy Sims on the gold geometric. And for Billy, he is 28 of 50. And going to end our pack with Phil Sims on the gold rare. And for Sims, he is 1 of 10. Or 1 of 20, I should say, on the gold rare. And that brings us back to another box of hobby. Autograph going to Jalen Polk on the base ink. And then behind him, we're going to have some numbered action going to Steve Young on the purple checkerboard. And for Young, he is 63 of 99. Blake Corum on the finest debuts. Estime and Emmitt Smith on the checkerboard. And then Terry Bradshaw to finish off our pack. There's Jalen Polk on the rare. Followed by Emmitt Smith on the Dynamos. And then Kenyon Mitchell on the finest debuts refractor. Cameron Kitchens on the rare checkerboard. And numbered action coming up. And this one is going to Jerzon Newton on the blue to 200. And for Newton, he is 169 of 200. Xavier Legette on the refractor, and then Ray Lewis on the checkerboard. Ooh, very nice. Dante Hall on the black to 25. So there you go, Dante Hall spot, and he is 1 of 25 on the black. Followed by Caleb Williams on the finest debuts, and then Williams again, this time on the checkerboard field generals. And our next checkerboard is going to Peyton Manning. Here's Johnny Wilson on the rare. Followed by Adonai Mitchell on the sky blue to 325. And for Mitchell, he is 224 of 325. And there's Bo Jackson on the Dynamos. Followed by Mike Singletary on the checkerboard. Ooh, we got some ink coming up. Our autograph is going to Barry Foster on the finest auto. So Foster spot is on the board with some ink. And behind him is going to be T'Vondre Sweat on the purple to 250. And for T'Vondre, he is 231 of 250. Joe Montana on the field generals. And then Doug Flutie on the rare refractor. Followed by Tim Tebow on the checkerboard. I'm going to lead off with Adrian Peterson on the refractor. Followed by Randy Moss on the blue to 200. And for Moss, he is 182 of 200. Up next is going to be Roger Staubach on the purple to 200. And for Roger, he is booking as well, 200 of 200. And apologies, Mr. Staubach, we're going to have to use you for our redemption. Our first autograph is going to be a Prodigy's autograph. That'll be just like that Bo Nix we saw earlier. And this one is going to Jaden Daniels on the Prodigy's ink. So there you go, Daniels spot. We saw some numbered action for you earlier, and now an autograph. Up next, we're going to have Frank Gore Jr. on the refractor auto. And behind him, some more low-numbered ink. It is Will Shipley on the autograph to 10. And for Will, he is 2 of 10 on the geometric ink. Up next, we have Troy Franklin on the green finest debuts. And for Franklin, he is 31 of 75. Followed by Marshawn Lloyd on the blue Dynamos. And for Lloyd, he is 71 of 99. And there's some more action for Dante Hall, this time on the blue geometric. And for Dante, 89 of 99. And going to end our pack with Terrion Arnold on the gold to 25. And for Arnold, he is 16 of 25. And that brings us to our next box of hobby. Ooh, and we got another redemption. Is it going to be Jaden again, or maybe Brock? It's going to be a rookie finest autograph this time. So just base ink. And very nice, it is going to Drake May. So very cool. We've put 3 of the big quarterbacks on the board now with an autograph. So congrats to the Drake May spot. Up next, we're going to have Anais Smith on the blue checkerboard. And for Smith, he is 48 of 75. Kurt Warner on the field generals. Followed by Jaden Daniels on the finest debuts checkerboard. And then Caleb Williams on the checkerboard right behind him. And going to end our pack with Malik Neighbors. So 3 big rookies at the end of that pack. And there's Michael Vick on the rare. Xavier Legette on the finest debuts. And then Bo Nix on the refractor field generals. And there's Michael Vick again, this time on the checkerboard. And Chop Robinson to finish off our pack. And there's John Elway on the rare. And behind Elway is Sam Hartman on the field generals. Keon Coleman on the finest debuts. And then Xavier Worthy on the checkerboard. And our ink, we are going back for this one. It is LeGarrette Blount on the refractor autograph. So the Blount spot is on the board. And behind him is going to be Archie Manning on the purple. And for Archie, he is 36 of 200. Keon Coleman on the Dynamos. And then Jalen McMillan on the refractor. Followed by Adrian Peterson on the checkerboard. And there's Blake Corum on the purple to 250. And for Blake, he is 33 of 250. Jalen Polk on the finest debuts. And then Jalen McMillan on the refractor. And then Brock Bowers on the X-Fractor. And Bo Jackson to finish off our pack. And there's Dan Fouts on the blue rare. And for Fouts, he is 107 of 150. Terrell Owens on the Dynamos. Eli Manning on the field generals checkerboard. Followed by Kenyon Mitchell on our next checkerboard. And our Delight's going to lead off with Warren Moon on the refractor. Followed by Eli Manning on the blue to 150. And for Eli, he is 71 of 150. So now we have found numbered action for all three of the Mannings. Up next is Mike Singletary on the purple. And for Singletary, he is 205 of 250. And auto number 1 is going to Xavier Legette on the base ink. And behind him, we're going to have Audric Estime on the blue geometric to 99. And he is 53 of 99. And then nice, it is Thurman Thomas on the gold geometric ink. And for Thurman, he is 21 of 50 on the gold autograph. And then we're going to have blue field generals going to Jaden Daniels. And for Jaden, he is 122 of 150. And up next, it is Tom Brady on the green field generals. And for Brady, he is 38 of 75. And wow, another nice one for Ray Lewis. This time it is the black to 20. And for Ray, he is 17 of 20. And going to finish our pack with Blake Corum on the blue geometric. And for Blake, he is 44 of 99. And that brings us to box number 7 of hobby case number 1. And that's the good thing, Jeremy. If they just keep getting lower for you, we might find a very nice Brady in one of these boxes. And our ink is going to Jalen Polk on the base autograph. Followed by Anais Smith on the purple. And for Smith, he is 238 of 250. Michael Vick on the field generals checkerboard. Followed by Byron Murphy on our next checkerboard. And Brock Bowers to finish off our pack. There's Phil Simms on the rare. And then Bucky Irving on the blue checkerboard. And for Bucky, he is 51 of 75. And there's the GOAT again, this time on the base Field Generals. Followed by Ladd McConkey on the Finest Debuts Refractor. And then Adrian Cooper on the checkerboard. And there's a good one for Dan Marino on the green to 75. And for Marino, he is 31 of 75 on the green refractor. Troy Franklin on the Finest Debuts. Anaya Smith on the refractor. And then Troy Aikman on the checkerboard rare. And Caleb Williams to finish off our pack. And there's Randy Moss on the sky blue. And for Randy, he is 105 of 325. Malik Neighbors on the Dynamos. Kenyon Mitchell on the Finest Debuts checkerboard. And then Law 2 on our next checkerboard. Oh, you're very welcome, Jeremy. It seems like green is your color. We found two of the all-time quarterbacks on green so far. Dan Passerini on the rare. Followed by Michael Vick on the Field Generals. Kenyon Mitchell on the Finest Debuts. And then Drake May on the checkerboard. Cade Stover to finish off our pack. And autograph coming up. And this one is going to Joey Porter on the Refractor ink. So putting the Porter spot on the board with some ink. Followed by Nate Wiggins on the purple. And for Nate, he is 51 of 200. Jerry Rice on the Dynamos. And then Steve Grogan on the rare refractor. Jim Everett on the checkerboard. Man, I hope we can find some red for you. That would be awesome. Let's get some super low numbered action for Tom Brady or Dan Marino. I would love to see one. That would be awesome. All right, our Kurt Warner's going to lead us off on the refractor. Followed by Boomer Esiason on the purple rare. And for Boomer, he is 91 of 125. And then Javon Bullard on the blue to 250. And for Javon, he is 76 of 250. And our first autograph is a base auto going to Roman Wilson. And then very cool, Brock Bowers on the blue geometric ink. So there you go, Bauer spot. And for Brock, he is 16 of 99 on the blue geometric autograph. And behind him is Andre Reed. And for Andre, he is 98 of 99 on the blue geometric ink. And that's very cool because we saw Thurman Thomas earlier, so we've got two of the 90s Bills on some ink. And there's Malik Neighbors on the purple team finest. And for Malik, he is 55 of 125. Ooh, and we got another mystery. Well, let's look at the players in the back first. All right, which one of our three is it going to be? And this one is going to Marshall Faulk. So the mystery has been solved, and it is Marshall Faulk. So can you write that down again, Joe?
Which one?
Marshall Faulk.
Marshall Faulk.
Ooh, and then very cool. Some more Bo Nix action for you, Squeeble. This one is the gold to 20. And for Bo, he is 10 of 20 on this one. And up next, we're going to have Kurt Warner on the blue to 99. And for Kurt, he is 7 of 99. Actually, let's do our last hobby and then our last delight. Oh, very nice. Yeah, for Bo. That is even better. And there's Mark Ripien on the blue rare. And for Mark, he is 89 of 99. Ooh, very nice. That is the main attraction short print going to Marvin Harrison Jr. So very cool. We haven't seen much of anything yet for Harrison, so putting him on the board in a big way. And for Harrison, the main attractions are 1 in every 162 packs. So there is some nice Marv action for you. And up next, we have Frank Gore Jr., I should say, on the Dynamos. Followed by Marshall Faulk on the Dynamos checkerboard. And then Spencer Radler on our next checkerboard. Oh, you're very welcome. That is a great way to get on the board, too, with a nice short print. There's Dante Culpepper on the rare. Followed by Chris Long on the purple. And for Long, he is 64 of 200. And Drew Brees on the blue Field Generals. And for Drew, he is 102 of 150. Followed by Troy Aikman on the checkerboard. And it's funny because they have been popping out recently. We did not see any Harrison autos for, I want to say, at least our first 15 or so cases. And then we have seen a couple recently now, too. And speaking of ink, there's Will Levis on the checkerboard blue autograph. And for Levis, he is 42 of 99 on the ink. Followed by Latu on the blue checkerboard, 21 of 75. Roman Wilson on the finest debuts. Followed by Roman again on the refractor. And then there's Barry Sanders on the checkerboard. And autograph coming up. And this one is going to Dylan Johnson on the refractor auto. So putting the Johnson spot on the board. Followed by Phil Simms on the blue checkerboard. And for Phil, he is 49 of 75. Jaden Daniels on the Field Generals checkerboard. Followed by Hakeem Nicks on our next checkerboard. No, that was what was weird, because I think it was last Saturday when that happened, and we were both like, wow, we have not seen any autos for him. Roger Staubach on the rare. And behind him, we're going to have a purple rare for Trey Benson. And for Trey, he is 98 of 125 on the purple rare. And then Anthony Richardson on the Field Generals. Followed by Xavier Worthy on the refractor Dynamos. Spencer Radler on the checkerboard. All right, Marie, let's see if we can find some Shroud action for you. There's Malachi Corley on the sky blue. And for Malachi, he is 70 of 325. Followed by Corley again, this time on the finest debuts. Earl Campbell on the refractor. And then Dat Wynn on the checkerboard. And that brings us to our final pack of Delight. But don't worry, we do have one more full hobby case to rip after this pack. But let's see if Delight can go out with a bang. We're going to lead off with Cooper DeJean on the refractor. And then Jatavian Sanders on the sky blue. And for Sanders, he is 225 of 325. Dan Pastorini on the purple checkerboard rare. And for Dan, he is 47 of 75. And our first autograph is going to Malachi Corley. Base ink there for Corley. And behind him, we do have a redemption. Ooh. It's going to be a Prodigy's autograph red to 5. Oh boy. Who have we found? Oh my. That is a biggie. Jaden Daniels on the Prodigy's autograph, red geometric parallel. Oh my. There you go, JD5 with a red autograph. What a hit. Congrats to the Daniel spot. That is going to be a beaut. And behind him, we're going to have a gold auto to 50. And that is going to Leroy Kelly. And for Leroy, he is 31 of 50 on the gold autograph. And Jaden Daniels is definitely the spot of the break now. He's going to be tough to beat. And there's Warren Moon on the Purple Field Generals. And for Warren, he is 92 of 125. And ooh, I think we have another short print. We sure do. It is another main attraction. And this one is going to Jatavian Sanders. So very nice. Main attraction short print for Jatavian Sanders. And up next, we're going to have Malachi Corley on the blue geometric. And for Malachi, he is 35 of 99. And we're going to end our delight with Edrin James on the black refractor. And for Edrin, he is booking as well, 25 of 25 on the black geometric refractor. But my goodness, that final pack of delight was very, very delightful. And if you're in chat, Jaden Daniels spot, man, that is a biggie. Congrats on that card. No, that would be awesome. Like, I mean, I'm not going to complain anytime you get a red auto to 5. But if you get the booking as well, oh my. And I mean, since it's a red to 5, like, you have a 20% chance of getting the book in. Yeah, you definitely can, Gabriel. And just give me 2 seconds, everybody. I knocked the light off, so I got to put the light back on the table real quick. All right, we're good to go. All right, good luck, everybody, here in case number 3. And come on, case 3. Can you show us one more red autograph? We've seen 2 so far. One for Donovan McNabb and the other one for Jaden Daniels. Come on, case number 3. Give us one more red auto. Oh, it's you, Mark. Very nice, man. Congrats. Yeah, that is a biggie. And yeah, for sure. I'll make sure that they put a package, a wrapper in your package, as well as the little UPC code from the box. So that way, if there is any issues whatsoever with any of your cards, you can take care of that with Topps. And case number 3 is going to lead off with Ladd McConkey. And our first autograph is going to Jatavian Sanders. So Sanders just saw that main attraction, now getting some base ink. And behind him is going to be Jacob Cowing on the purple rare. And for Jacob, he is 13 of 125. Followed by Chad Johnson on the Dynamos. Adonai Mitchell on the finest debuts checkerboard. And then Cade Stover on our next checkerboard. Gabriel, you know we will. We love throwing out our penny sleeves. And there's Jim Everett on the rare. Followed by Michael Pratt on the Field Generals. And then Blake Corum on the finest debuts refractor. Dwayne Bowe on the checkerboard. And blue checkerboard coming up. And that is going to Jim McMahon on the blue rare. And for McMahon, he is 73 of 150. Ladd McConkey on the finest debuts. followed by Malik Neighbors on the refractor and Brock Bowers on the checkerboard rare. Oh, very cool, Mark. Yeah, happy for you, man. That is such a big one. And blue checkerboard coming up. And this one's going to Jonathan Brooks. And for Jonathan, he is 27 of 75. Followed by Randy Moss on the Dynamos. And then Sweetness, Walter Payton on the Dynamos checkerboard. And Michael Pratt on our next checkerboard. Cameron Kitchens on the blue checkerboard rare. And for Kitchens, he is 41 of 49. McNabb on the Field Generals. And then John Elway on the blue Field Generals. And for Elway, he is 123 of 150. Kenyon Mitchell on the checkerboard. And then William the Fridge Perry to finish off our pack. Autograph coming up. Oh, and that's a bear. It sure is. It's going to Neil Anderson on the ink. So putting the Neil Anderson spot on the board with some base ink. And there you go, a little more Bo Nix action. This time on the Sky Blue to 325. And for Bo, he is 191 of 325. Followed by Marvin Harrison Jr. on the finest debuts. Ray Lewis on the refractor. And then Jacob Cowing on the checkerboard. I would love to hit something for Jason. All right, Jason, one spot. You got to put one spot in chat. And let's see if we can find something good for that spot. Because I know you have quite a few. I was really hoping you had Xavier Worthy. Because we did hit a nice red to 5 for him earlier. No ink, but still a nice card. Ooh, we got another Prodigy's autograph. And why not? Why not get you another Bo Nix Prodigy's autograph? Very cool. There you go, Squeeble. Bo is a flowing today on a Prodigy's base ink. Followed by Lynn Dickey on the Sky Blue. And for Lynn, he is 223 of 325. And there's CJ Stroud on the Team Finest. We'd like to see you on something nice, Mr. Stroud. Keon Coleman on the checkerboard. And then Tim Tebow to finish off our pack. And there's Anais Smith on the Sky Blue. And for Mr. Smith, he is 45 of 250. Followed by Jaden Daniels on the finest debuts. Trey Benson on the Dynamos. Followed by Ricky Williams on the checkerboard. Spencer Rattler on the rare. Followed by Adrian Peterson on the Dynamos. And then Trey Benson on the finest debuts refractor. And then Malik Neighbors on the checkerboard rare. And there's Jerzon Newton on the purple checkerboard. And for Jerzon, he is 99 of 150. Eli Manning on the Field Generals. Followed by Johnny Wilson on the refractor. And then Brendan Rice on the checkerboard. Luke McCaffrey on the rare. Followed by Tyler Nubin on the green to 35. And for Tyler, he is 24 of 35 on the green refractor. Peyton Manning on the Field Generals. Followed by Malik Neighbors on the finest debuts. And then Ladd McConkey on the checkerboard. And we got some ink coming up. And that is going to Jimbo Covert on the autograph. So the Jimbo spot is on the board. And behind him is going to be Steve Young on the blue to 150. And for Young, he is 117 of 150. Ladd McConkey on the Dynamos. Anaya Smith on the Refractor. And then Cameron Kitchens on the rare checkerboard. And there's Bucky Irving on the gold refractor. And for Bucky, he is 9 of 50. Followed by, we had Peyton Manning that was trying to sneak away with Bucky. Peyton Manning on the Field Generals. Followed by Audric Estime on the Dynamo's checkerboard. And then Cole Bishop on our next checkerboard. There's Jalen Polk on the rare. Followed by Malik Neighbors on the debuts. And then Ladd McConkey on the Dynamos. Cooper DeJean on the checkerboard. Ooh. Oh, it's going to be an all-timer. It is Doug Williams on the Finest Greats Black Refractor autograph. There you go, Doug Williams spot on the board with some low-numbered ink. And for Doug, he is 17 of 25 on the Black Refractor Finest Greats autograph. Very cool. Followed by Devin Hester on the blue rare. And for Devin, he is 78 of 150. CJ Stroud on the Field Generals. Mark Ripien on the refractor. And then Bo Nix on the checkerboard. And our next auto is going to Brock Bowers on the refractor ink. So very nice. That is auto number 2 for Mr. Bowers. Followed by Cade Stover on the purple. And for Cade, he is 21 of 200. Cooper DeJean on the Finest Debuts. And then Caleb Williams on the Field Generals checkerboard. And Marshall Faulk on our next checkerboard. Johnny Wilson on the rare. Followed by Gronk on the Team Finest. Spencer Radler on the Field Generals refractor. And then Arian Foster on the checkerboard. And our numbered action is going to Jacob Cowing on the blue checkerboard. And for Jacob, he is 84 of 99. Xavier Legette on the Dynamos. Keon Coleman on the refractor. And then Tom Brady on the checkerboard. That win to finish off our pack. And that brings us to box number 4 out of case number 3. So we got 5 more boxes to try to find another red autograph. Come on, last 5 boxes. Let's make it happen. Lance Briggs on the rare. And then Terrell Owens on the purple to 250. And for T.O., he is 111 of 250 on the purple. Followed by Brock Bowers on the Team Finest. Tom Brady on the Field Generals refractor. And then Fred Taylor on the checkerboard. There's Edgerrin James on the sky blue. And for James, he is 312 of 325. Dylan Johnson on the Dynamos. Fred Taylor on the refractor. And then Keon Coleman on the checkerboard. Ooh, we got a gold auto coming up. And that is going to Santana Moss on the gold autograph. And for Moss, he is booking as well. 50 of 50 on the gold autograph. So there you go, Santana Moss spot. Followed by Jaden Daniels with another goodie, this time on the blue checkerboard. And for Jaden, he is 60 of 99. Followed by Drew Brees on the Field Generals. Jatavian Sanders on the rare refractor. Followed by Bob Greasy on the checkerboard. Autograph coming up. Ooh, very nice. That is Ladd McConkey on the black refractor autograph to 25. So very nice. There you go, McConkey spot. And for Ladd, he is 23 of 25 on the black refractor ink. Followed by Terrion Arnold on the sky blue. And for Arnold, he is 38 of 325. Jatavian Sanders on the finest debuts. And then Blake Corum on the finest debuts checkerboard. And Troy Franklin on the rare checkerboard. There's a Donnie Mitchell on the blue rare to 150. And for Mitchell, he is 99 of 150. Jim Kelly on the Field Generals. And then Bo Nix on the Field Generals checkerboard. And Dallas Turner on our next checkerboard. Jaden Hicks on the purple checkerboard. And for Hicks, he is 4 of 99. Brock Bowers on the finest debuts. Marshawn Lloyd on the Dynamos. And then Santana Moss on the checkerboard. There's Keon Coleman on the purple rare. And for Keon, he is 35 of 125. Followed by Tom Brady on Team Finest. Spencer Rattler on the Field Generals checkerboard. And then Ray Lewis on our next checkerboard. Sam Hartman on the rare. Followed by Frank Gore Jr. on the Dynamos. And it's not a 101, but it's more action for you, Squeeble, with Bo Nix on the green debuts. Yeah, Nix has done very well, too. 22 of 75 for Bo. Bucky Irving on the checkerboard. Bo Nix and Jaden Daniels both have just crushed the break. I mean, Jaden with just the red to 5, like, ooh, such a biggie. And there's John Randall on the blue checkerboard autograph. So putting the Randall spot on the board. And for John, he is 3 of 99 on the ink. And behind him is Doug Williams on the sky blue rare. And for Doug, 131 of 150. Matt Hasselback on the Field Generals. Followed by Brennan Rice on the refractor. And Mike Singletary on the checkerboard. And there's some ink going to Anais Smith on the refractor auto. Followed by Sam Hartman on the purple checkerboard. And for Hartman, he is 79 of 99. Roman Wilson, I should say, on the debuts. Jonathan Brooks and Tim Tebow on the checkerboards. And Caleb Williams to finish off our pack. Will Shipley on the Dynamos, followed by Marshall Faulk on the Dynamos refractor, and then Jonathan Brooks on the checkerboard. And there's Archie Manning on the blue rare. And for Archie, he is 52 of 99. And we got another mystery. All right, I know who I want to see. Let's see who it is. But But that was our 3 players. Let's solve our mystery. And there you go. I don't know if that's the best one yet, but that might be in the running with the green from earlier. It is Tom Brady on the mystery. And we cannot see if it's numbered. It does not look to be numbered. But Tom Brady is our mystery card. You going to write that down, Joe?
I got it already.
Okay, cool. Thank you. And Ladd McConkey on the refractor. Followed by Keenan McCardell on the checkerboard. And that leaves us with 3 boxes to go in this one. Come on, last 3. Do one of you have a red autograph for us? We want to see one more before the break is over. Please and thank you. Ooh, I do believe we have one of the man short prints on the way. So first up, we're going to have some numbered action, and that is going to Chad Johnson on the blue to 150. And for Chad, he is 41 of 150. And behind him, I do believe that is one of the man short prints. And this time, the man is Xavier Worthy. So, my goodness, Xavier Worthy has also had a heck of a break. We did see him earlier on an insert red to 5, and now one of the man short prints. And these are 1 in every 162 packs. So, very cool. Congrats to the Xavier Worthy spot on the man short print. Followed by Terry Bradshaw on the Field Generals. Anthony Richardson and Edgerrin Cooper on the checkerboards. Oh, okay, well, Jeremy, you want to look at the back of the mystery and see if it says refractor on it, Joe? For the Tom Brady?
No, it just says mystery.
Okay, yeah, that one just says mystery. It doesn't say refractor, so I don't think it'll be numbered. There's Jonah Ellis on the rare. Followed by Bo Nix on the debuts. And then we're going to have a gold to 50. And why not? This was a Worthy box. Xavier Worthy on the gold debuts to 50. And for Mr. Worthy, he is 2 of 50 on the gold debuts. Followed by Peyton Manning. Oh, very nice. Peyton and then Eli to finish our pack. All we needed was some Archie in there. Ooh, we have another, oh my gosh, another low-numbered auto. That is going to be to 10 on the Finest Greats ink. And it's going to James Harrison on the Finest Greats autograph to 10. So very cool. Some more low-numbered ink coming out of our boxes. And for Harrison, he is 3 of 10 on the Finest Greats autograph. And wow, that is very cool. An auto to 10. And now an oil spill to 15 for Cade Stover. And for Cade, he is 7 of 15 on the oil spill. Followed by Jaden Daniels on the Finest. Keon Coleman on the rare refractor. And then lot 2 on the checkerboard. Autograph coming up. And that one is going to Johnny Wilson on the base ink. Or I should say refractor auto there for Johnny Wilson. And then Mike Singletary on the blue checkerboard. And for Mike, he is 5 of 75 on the blue checkerboard. Oh, really? That's you with Harrison? Very nice, Jason. And there's Worthy on the Dynamos. Followed by Malachi Corley on the debuts checkerboard. And then Jim Everett on our next checkerboard. So very cool. The boxes made you wait, but at least they gave you some low-numbered ink. Anthony Gold on the rare. Followed by Boomer Esiason on the Field Generals. Xavier Legette on the Finest Debuts refractor. And then Chris Long on the checkerboard. There's Jermaine Burton on the purple checkerboard. And for Jermaine, he is 11 of 150. Followed by Jalen Polk on the debuts. And then Jerzon Newton on the refractor. And Earl Campbell on the checkerboard. And what is up, Jimmy Soto? Oh, you guys are making street dogs with the bacon wrapped around a hot dog. All right, everybody, that leaves us with 2 boxes to go. And we did just see a black auto to 10, but come on, boxes, we want to see a red to 5. Let's get a little bit lower in one of these last 2 boxes. There's Dallas Turner on some base ink. Ooh, very nice. Followed by Troy Aikman on the green to 35. And for Troy, he is 5 of 35 on the green refractor. Trey Benson on the Dynamos. Followed by Emmitt Smith on the Dynamos checkerboard. And then Sam Hartman on our next checkerboard. But very cool that we got Troy Aikman and Emmitt Smith in the same pack. Ricky Pearsall on the rare. Followed by Peyton Manning on the Field Generals. And then John Elway on the Field Generals refractor. And there's Joe Alt on the checkerboard. Spencer Rattler on the blue to 150. And for Spencer, he is 107 of 150. Malik Neighbors on the debuts. Edgerrin Cooper on the refractor. And then Brock Bowers on the checkerboard. And there's a purple checkerboard going to Trey Benson. And for Trey, he is 17 of 150 on the purple checkerboard. Followed by Ladd McConkey on the Dynamos. And then John Elway and Lenny Moore on the checkerboards. Chris Jenkins on the Sky Blue. And for Jenkins, he is 248 of 325. Followed by CJ Stroud on the Field Generals. And Drake May on the checkerboard rare. Ooh, we got a gold auto coming up. And nice, we found another Steelers linebacker all-timer. It is Joey Porter on the gold autograph. And for Joey, he is 32 of 50 on the gold auto. Followed by Michael Vick on the purple checkerboard. And for Vick, he is 25 of 75. Gronk on the finest. And then Chad Johnson on the refractor. And Bruce Smith on the checkerboard. And that brings us to our final box of the break, everybody. And thanks once again, everybody, for joining us today. And hopefully we have some special waiting for us here in our final 6 packs. Autograph coming up, and that is going to Jalen Polk on the base ink. And behind him, we're going to have a gold rare. And that is going to Craig Morton on the gold rare. And for Morton, he is 8 of 20 on the gold. Bucky Irving on the Dynamos. Followed by Bo Nix on the checkerboard, as well as Johnny Wilson. Jim McMahon on the rare. And behind him is going to be Don Majowski on the purple. And for Don, he is 23 of 250. Steve Young on the Field Generals. Followed by Emmitt Smith on the Dynamos refractor. And then Caleb Williams on the checkerboard. And there's Terrell Owens on the blue to 250. And for T.O., he is 93 of 250. Michael Pratt on the debuts. Will Shipley on the refractor, and then Xavier Legette on the checkerboard. And there's Emmitt Smith on the purple to 200. And for Emmitt, he is 127 of 200 on the purple refractor. Followed by C.J. Stroud on the team finest. Blake Corum and Terrion Arnold on the checkerboards. Jaws on the rare. And then Adrian Peterson on the Dynamos. Followed by Eli Manning on the Field Generals. And then Trey Benson on the checkerboard. And there it is, everybody, our final pack. Do we have one more goodie? We sure do. Chris Long is on the board with some ink in our final pack. So there you go, Chris Long spot. We saw a couple numbered cards, but this is your first autograph. And then Johnny Wilson on the blue to 200. And for Johnny, he is 68 of 200. Jaden Daniels on the debuts. Ladd McConkey on the rare refractor. And then Jaden Daniels on the checkerboard. All right, everybody, let's see how this one shook out. We did very, very good on the low-numbered ink. First up, man, that is going to be such a beaut. Jaden Daniels on the Prodigy's red geometric autograph to 5. Oh, boy. And our other red autograph is going to Donovan McNabb. And then up next, we're going to have James Harrison on the black Finest Greats autograph to 10. Will Shipley on the oil spill auto, also to 10. And our final auto to 10 is going to Jason Taylor. But very cool. 5 autographs, 10 or below in these 3 cases. Next up, we have our autographs to 25. First up is Ladd McConkey. And then Doug Williams on the Finest Greats. Our autos to 50, starting off with Joey Porter. Santana Moss. Leroy Kelly. Thurman Thomas. Dave Robinson. And Rod Smith. Next up, we have our autographs to 99. Leading off with John Randall. Will Levis. Andre Reed. Brock Bowers, Audric Estime, Nate Wiggins, Braylon Trice, Jim Everett, Roger Craig, and Lenny Moore. And rest of our ink isn't numbered. We'll start off with the all-timer autos. We found Jimbo Covert and Barry Foster. And a couple of our redemptions, Jaden Daniels on the Prodigy's auto. And then our Prodigy autos for Bo Nix and Bo Nix. So double Bo on the Prodigy ink. And then our base autos, leading off with Chris Long, Jalen Polk, Dallas Turner, Johnny Wilson, Anais Smith, Brock Bowers, Jatavian Sanders, Neil Anderson, Dylan Johnson, Malachi Corley, Roman Wilson, Joey Porter, Jalen Polk, Xavier Legette, LeGarrette Blount, Drake May, Frank Gore Jr., Jalen Polk again, Nate Wiggins, Don Beebe, Dallas Turner, Trey Benson, Jermaine Burton, Xavier Worthy, Jalen McMillan, Bryce Young, Malachi Corley, and finally, Malik Neighbors. All right, our rest of our numbered action. We got as low as 5 with Xavier Worthy on the Dynamos red. Such a sweet card, color match too. Up next, we have Gronk on the red geometric, also to 5. Chris Jenkins to 10 on the geometric. And finally, Cade Stover on the oil spill to 15. Up next, we have all our parallels to 20. Leading off with Craig Morton, Lad McConkey, Phil Simms, Bo Nix, Ray Lewis, Edgerrin James starts our stack to 25. Terrion Arnold, Donovan McNabb, Joe Montana. Tyler Newman leads the way for 35. Troy Aikman. And then Dante Hall, another 25. So they were just a little bit out of order. Next up, we have all our parallels to 50. Leading off with Xavier Worthy, Bucky Irving, Marvin Harrison Jr., Billy Sims, Edgerrin Cooper, Danny White to 49, Brett Favre, Lad McConkey, and Cameron Kitchens. Next up, our parallels to 75. Leading off with Dan Marino, Tom Brady, Troy Franklin, Bo Nix, Jonathan Brooks, Bucky Irving, Troy Aikman, Latu, Phil Simms, Anais Smith, Michael Vick, Dan Pastoroni. And then our parallels to 99. Let's make 2 stacks. Leading off with Sam Hartman, Archie Manning, Jaden Daniels, Jaden Hicks, Jacob Cowing, Mark Ripien, Malachi Corley, Blake Corum, Kurt Warner, Lance Briggs, Steve Young, Marshawn Lloyd, Dante Hall, Drew Bledsoe, Jim Kelly, Boomer Esiason, Ray Lewis, Emmitt Smith, Anais Smith, Mason Smith, and Brock Bowers. Our parallels to 125, leading off with Keon Coleman, Jacob Cowing, Trey Benson, Warren Moon, Boomer Esiason, Malik Neighbors, Xavier Worthy, Adonai Mitchell. And then our parallels to 150, starting off with Spencer Radler, Trey Benson, Jermaine Burton, Chad Johnson, Doug Williams, Adonai Mitchell, Devin Hester, Steve Young, Jerzon Newton, Jim McMahon, John Elway, Drew Brees, Dan Fouts, Eli Manning, Jaden Daniels, Lynn Dickey, Adonai Mitchell, Walter Payton, Bob Greasy, Marshall Faulk, Sam Hartman, Lynn Dickey, Trey Benson, Jaden Daniels, and Joe Montana. Next up, our parallels to 200. We found Emmitt Smith, Johnny Wilson, Cade Stover, Chris Long, Archie Manning, Nate Wiggins, Jerzon Newton, Randy Moss, Roger Staubach, Brennan Rice, Bob Greasy, Michael Hall Jr., and Ray Lewis. Our parallels to 250, leading off with Frank Gore Jr., Jerzon Newton, Andre Reed, Randy Moss, Javon Bullard, Anais Smith, Terrell Owens, Don Majowski, Terrell Owens, Blake Corum, Mike Singletary, Anais Smith, Tavondre Sweat, Jim Everett, and Bucky Irving. And then our parallels to 325, we found Chris Jenkins, Edgerrin James, Lynn Dickey, Bo Nix, Malachi Corley, Jatavian Sanders, Randy Moss, Adonai Mitchell, Audric Estime, and Latu. And then we did pretty good on the short print front as well. We found 2 main attractions. First up is Jatavian Sanders, and then Marvin Harrison Jr. And we found one of the man short prints as well for Xavier Worthy. And final thing is our mysteries. We found Tom Brady, Marshall Faulk, and Jim Kelly. And that is going to do it for this break, everybody. Thanks again, everyone, for joining us for Topps Finest Football. We always appreciate it. And we do have 2 more Marvel breaks today and Star Wars. So if anybody's a fan out there, make sure to join us for those. And we do have, I believe, 5 breaks set for tomorrow. So while you guys are enjoying your weekend, make sure to come over here to Hobby Legends and watch us rip some cards. Thanks everybody for joining, and we will see y'all next time. Bye.